Mel, the Soul Reflection, one of the most unfair and unbalanced champions in League of Legends. Mel is part of the Madara family with Ambessa, but we all know her for using Jace as her boy toy. And basically owning all of Piltover. I mean everything. Fuck's sake man, she's so cool. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm going to be teaching you how to play well on support and in the mid lane. So don't worry, support can still blow people up. Now let's get on to the abilities. Mel's passive gives her an extra projectiles on her attacks every time she uses an ability. When Mel deals any damage, she also applies Overwhelm. This can stack infinitely, and when below this bar, it executes. For her Q, Radiant Volley, it fires 9 projectiles at the enemies, stacking her Overwhelm. For W Rebuttal, Mel forms a barrier around herself that can reflect, preventing her from taking damage and granting move speed. This ability has saved me so many times in games, but maybe don't press it against Leona or Amumu. Those champions make it seem balanced. For Mel's E, she creates an orb projectile that stuns in the center and slows enemies on the side, dealing damage and proccing Overwhelm again. Wait, this ability is one sentence long? Right, are we okay? Where's my wall of text I need to read or watching the correct video about? Lastly, for the ultimate, Mel uses all stacks of Overwhelm on the enemy to smite them down. Riot made it so easy with this icon above changing color when they're in execute range. Just remember, shields can get in the way. Now this is where the video is going to get split into two. The left Mel is the mid Mel and right Mel is support Mel. I'm going to have an icon in the top corners to represent which one I'm talking about. For mid Mel, Q max into E then W. This is the same for support in Emerald or below if you need damage on the team. In higher elo, it's more important to max the E as you can set up more plays and stun lasts for an extra 1.25 seconds at max ranks. Both Mels for rune pages take Comet, Mana Flow Ban, Transcendence, and sometimes you can switch to Celerity if there's too many skill shots, and then finish it off with Scourge. For secondary, take Bone Plating and Overgrowth. I call these two runes the anti-int runes, as Mel is squishy early and doesn't do too much damage till Lost Chapter, so it gives us some survivability in lane. Mid can switch up the secondary depending on matchups, but that's very specific. So if you've got a matchup you need questions on, put it in the comments down below and I'll answer. On to the items. Both Mels take Luden's Echoes into Sork Shoes and then Bloodletter's Curse. This is your core build and it gets the most damage out of her. When you look at all of these sites they will disagree, but trust me please, I'll explain. The strengths of this core is the Bloodletter's Curse. It gives decent stats, but look at its passive. Deal damage reduces the enemy magic resistance by 5% up to 30%, meaning you can hit one Q then auto attack once and it's fully stacked, letting you deal with anyone you want to. Afterwards, mid Mel can take themselves to Shadow Flame, then anything else she wants. Death Cap for damage, Zhonya's for safety, you get the point. Well, for support, it's HP burn if you're against tanks and flat AP for those squishies, or cooldown reduction if 2 to 3 rotation through the team fights isn't enough. One of the reasons I love Mel support so much in low elo is you can fix waves, since people tend to not farm at all after laning phase, but don't tell my ADC, I definitely don't borrow some CS later into the game. For the matchups, Mel has some extremely one-sided ones. This all comes down to her W. Sometimes it can completely ruin an enemy with the reflect, such as Blitzcrank, and sometimes it can not matter and you get destroyed anyway. Mid's worst matchups is Veigar, Lux, Vel'Koz, Seraph and Fizz, while her best are Ahri, Aurora, Tristana and Vex. While for the support, the worst are Soroka, Emilio, Janna and Leona, basically anyone that can heal Mel's damage or named Leona because of the W interaction. Please do not get baited by champions like Nami for good matchups. Even though Mel can reflect the ult, the sustain and peel from Nami is just more than enough to make her not care. I'll put a link in the description down below for the bad matchup and good matchups for Mel. For how to play her in game, her goal is to snowball early by getting a couple kills or having a CS lead. With an execute finisher, you're one of the only champions in the game who get 20 plus kills consistently. Her spike is at 2 items with Luden's and Bloodletter's Curse, so make sure to abuse this timing to win fights. Also, you're best paired up with a couple of frontliners to help you land your combo and giving you time to get off multiple rotations. For her max damage combo, it's E auto, Q auto, then R. If you got time to get another Q and E off, then your R will deal more damage. With this knowledge, go win some solo queue games and follow me for some more League of Legends content. I'm still trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean so much. See you in the next video.